On Saturday, April 4th, the entire American left lost its mind. Ed Krasenstein, John Cooper, David Pagman, Mark Slapinski, blue check after blue check, all posting the same thing. Breaking! Trump is at Walter Reed. Trump has been hospitalized. Trump is in critical condition. They shared all video from the Butler assassination attempt and called it breaking news. They pointed to closed roads near the hospital. They posted screenshots of the White House press lead at 11 a.m. as proof that something terrible had happened. And for about 12 hours, millions of people believed it because the White House said nothing. Trump said nothing. No public appearances, no golf, no press, just silence. And they thought the silence meant weakness, but they had no idea. The day before, on Friday, April 3rd, an F-15E Strike Eagle from the 494th Fighter Squadron based out of RAF Lakenheath in England got shot down over southwestern Iraq. First American manned fighter lost over enemy territory in more than 20 years. Both crew members ejected safely, the pilot and the weapons systems officer. They landed in separate locations in hostile mountainous terrain, and the clock started ticking. The pilot got rescued first. American Special Operations Forces went in with Jolly Green helicopters in broad daylight. That operation took 7 hours over Iranian airspace. During the extraction, the rescue helicopter carrying the pilot got hit by Iranian fire. Crew members on the helicopter were wounded, and the helicopter kept flying and made it out with everyone on board. At the same time, an A-10 Warhawk providing close air support for the rescue took a hit from Iranian fire too. The pilot nursed the damaged aircraft all the way to Kuwaiti airspace before ejecting, and the A-10 crashed in Kuwait. That pilot was also recovered alive. So, within hours of one shootdown, American forces were running 3 separate rescue operations at the same time, and they got everyone out. But the second crew member from that F-15E, the weapons systems officer, a colonel, he was still out there. This colonel was wounded after ejecting, but he could walk, and he did exactly what decades of SEER training, survival, evasion, resistance, and escape taught him to do. He moved away from the wreckage, he climbed, and he went up into the mountains 7,000 feet above sea level into rough terrain and found a crevice in the rock to hide in. He activated his emergency beacon and he waited. He had a pistol, a communication device, a tracking beacon, and that's it. Meanwhile, Iran put a bounty on his head. Iranian state television went on the air and offered 10 billion toman, roughly $60,000 for anyone who captured the enemy pilot alive. The IRGC sent units to hunt him. Basij militia joined the search. Armed tribesmen in the region started combing the mountains. And this colonel just stayed hidden for over 24 hours, wounded, alone, behind enemy lines, with an entire country looking for him. While American Reaper drones circled overhead and killed anyone who got within about 2 miles of his position. According to Air and Space Forces magazine, the Reapers struck Iranian military-age males who got within 3 kilometers of the colonel. They created a lethal perimeter around one man hiding in a rock. And while this was happening, the CIA was running a deception campaign inside Iran. They spread false information that American forces had already found the Wezo and were moving him overland for extraction. So while Iranian forces chased a ghost convoy that didn't exist, the CIA used what a senior administration official called unique, exquisite capabilities to pinpoint the colonel's actual location in that mountain crevice. They found him. They passed the coordinates to the Pentagon and the White House, and Trump ordered the rescue. Late Saturday night, a Special Operations Ground Force was inserted deep into Iran. They linked up with the colonel and started getting him out. Dozens of aircraft provided overhead cover. American jets bombed the roads around the extraction area, cratering them to create traffic jams as IRGC units tried to respond. And the bottleneck worked. Iranian forces couldn't get through in time. Then, 2 C-130 transport planes that landed at a forward position inside Iran to carry everyone out got stuck on the ground. stuck in the sand at an improvised airstrip in the middle of hostile territory. So commanders made the call: fly in 3 replacement C-130s for destruction and blow up the 2 stock aircraft in place. American hardware destroyed by Americans on Iranian soil because leaving it behind was not an option. A massive firefight broke out at the destruction site. Special operators engaged IRGC forces directly, but despite the ground combat, the stock planes, and the Iranian forces closing in, every single American made it out alive. 0 American lives lost in the Wizo rescue operation. And Israel helped. Israeli intelligence actively helped locate the missing colonel, and Israel canceled its own planned strikes inside Iran so the Americans would have a clear field. That's what an ally looks like. So let me bring this back to Saturday. That is what Trump was doing. That is why the White House went silent. And that is why there was a press lead at 11 a.m. That is why Trump was not golfing. The President of the United States was sitting in the Oval Office, monitoring a rescue operation for a wounded American colonel hiding in a mountain crevice inside Iran, with the IRGC closing in, while the CIA ran a deception campaign, while special operators prepared to fly into enemy territory. And the American left looked at that silence and decided to tell everyone Trump was dying in a hospital. Ed Krasenstein posted, "Breaking! Speculation is rising that Donald Trump is at Walter Reed Medical Center." That post got over 1 million views. John Cooper, same thing. Mark Slapinski wrote, "There are credible reports that Donald Trump has been hospitalized." Some accounts even share a video of Trump's motorcade from after the Butler assassination attempt and presented it as new footage from Walter Reed. And meanwhile, a CBS News producer posted a photo of a Marine sentry standing at the West Wing door, confirming the president was working inside. A reporter drove to Walter Reed. No Marine One, no motorcade, roads open, nothing. Trump later explained it himself. The military did not confirm the first rescue, the pilot rescue on Friday, because they did not want to jeopardize the second rescue operation. That was deliberate operational security. The silence protected the colonel. And while the left was running a disinformation campaign about a hospital visit that never happened, American special operators were fighting their way into and out of Iran to bring one man home. And then came Easter Sunday morning. Trump woke up. And I guess he decided that rising from the dead wasn't going to be the only resurrection that day. He posted on Truth Social, and I want you to hear this because it is something. "Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the," and then he used a word I can't say on YouTube, "open the strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch." And then he signed it. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. On Easter, a Christian president telling Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz, calling them crazy bastards, threatening to destroy their power plants and bridges, and closing with, "Praise be to Allah." That is a man who just pulled off a rescue mission that reads like a movie script, who sat through 48 hours of the American left telling the world he was dying, and came out the other side posting the most unhinged flex in presidential history. I have watched a lot of leaders in my life. I grew up watching Hugo Chavez give marathon speeches on national television where he'd sing, tell jokes, and threaten entire industries in the same breath. I thought I had seen everything. I had not seen "Praise be to Allah" from a sitting American president on Easter Sunday after blowing up his own planes inside Iran. Look, I know the critics will focus on the F-15E getting shot down. I know they will focus on the A-10 going down, the 2 C-130s destroyed, the Black Hawk taking hits, and that is fair. Those are real losses. That is real equipment. And more importantly, people were really wounded. But the American military lost 4 aircraft in 48 hours and brought every single person home alive. Every pilot, every crew member, every special operator. The colonel who hid in a mountain crevice for a day and a half with a bounty on his head is alive. The helicopter crew that took a hit during the first rescue is alive. The A-10 pilot who ejected over Kuwait is alive. That's what Leave No One Behind actually looks like. Not as a slogan, but as an operation. And while it was happening, the loudest voices on the American left were spreading lies about the commander-in-chief being hospitalized. Not because they had evidence, no, but because they saw silence and filled it with their worst hopes. They wanted him to be dying, and he was saving a life. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.